Did you know that almost 30% of new housing developments in the United States has septic systems? There's a lot of myth and confusion around septic systems. Watch my next episode for all your answers. Hi, welcome to Champagne with Sharmila, where we discuss everything related to homes. I'm here in Austin, Texas with Keller Williams Realty, and today's episode I decided to bring somebody in from a company that handles septic systems. I, as a realtor, have handled a few assignments, a few transactions where septic system has been an important aspect of the whole transaction, and I felt that it would be very valuable to have somebody come and talk about septic systems because it's something that not everybody is very familiar with. So I have with me Janice with Rainbow Septic.
Rainbow Septic.
And Janice has been in the business for over 20 years, and she started off as a real estate agent and realized that it was difficult for her to get all the questions answered when it was issues related to septic systems. So she started the company, and they have won many awards. One of them was in 2006 from Austin Chronicle as the best septic system company. And thank you, Janice, for joining us. I wanted to ask you, if you can tell us, why do we have septic systems? Where do you find septic systems in Austin? And what are some of the benefits of having septic systems?
Well, in Travis and the surrounding counties, we probably have more septic systems in this area than in the entire state of Texas. So if you're going to buy in this area, you're going to run across septic systems. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because of the tremendous amount of growth we've had in the area, the municipalities are not able to provide public sewage systems. And so the benefit of septic systems is we can actually continue to develop and provide homes for people at a faster rate than the city can actually provide wastewater. So the purpose of the septic system is to give you actually an on-site sewage facility on your property. They're very simple, they're easy to maintain, and they allow us to develop in areas that normally we couldn't develop.
So that's actually a great point, because Austin has been growing very, very rapidly over the last few years, and if you have something where putting the sewage system is not going to be an obstacle that allows developers to go faster, at a faster pace.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, and also years back when the cities were smaller, people were out in the country. That was their only alternative to getting rid of their wastewater, was a septic system. Mm-hmm. So there are lots of systems. They're all over the state of Texas, all over the United States, and they work very well in disposing of wastewater.
Tell us, Janice, about, there are some myths about having a septic system. People get scared about having a septic system? What are some of the myths that you want to kind of dispel today?
Well, what I wanted to say to you is, don't be intimidated. If you're looking at buying a home, don't be intimidated if the home has a septic system on it. And most reasons people are intimidated is because, one, they're out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. But they're designed to work well. In fact, the useful life is 25 to 35 years. And in fact, they're designed to work in spite of you as a homeowner, to take care of you. So that's the biggest myth, is people are intimidated by them. Another the myths is, yes, don't be intimidated, but also get educated about your septic system. Most people think they don't need to be maintained, just like a city sewer. If you're hooked up to a city sewer system, your only maintenance is flushing the toilet. Septic systems do require more maintenance, and it's important as a potential homeowner, or as a homeowner, that you understand your septic system and you understand how to well maintain. If you well maintain it, it will take very good care of you for years.
So when you say you need to take good care of it and you have to maintain it, how frequently does it have to be inspected, maintained? How frequently does it have to be pumped? What are some of those guidelines?
Well, it really depends on, this is why it's important to know what kind of system you have, because it's just like cars. There's a difference between a pickup truck and a Porsche.
Yes.
Okay, or a difference between really a Porsche and an airplane. So it's understanding your particular piece of equipment and what it requires. Most septic systems need to be pumped about every 3 to 5 years for a normal family of 4.
Okay.
So and that's a very important item. And then some of the septic systems have more equipment than others, and it's just and usually they have alarms and notifications for homeowners that let them know, by the way, this needs to be repaired.
Oh, okay.
So they have power alarms and things that will notify you.
Oh, that's good.
But pretty much, septic systems are real user-friendly for the homeowner. It's just a matter of occasionally pumping them out and then fixing the equipment that happens to break if they have a different type of equipment on it. So they're real user-friendly.
Okay.
It's kind of like your car. They run a lot of miles and get you a lot of ways
Sounds
without
like
you really
yeah.
having to think about
Yeah,
it.
as long as you maintain it.
As long as you maintain it.
Yes,
Very
that's a key word.
That's a key word.
And you said every 3 to 5 years you have to pump it?
Normally for a family of 4, about every 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
It
years.
depends on the size of the system, the amount of tanks you've got, and how many people you've got in the home.
Okay, so I hope you guys made a note of that. It depends on how big your family is. So
You have a
the more
family
the
of
people-
10, you
Yes.
need to pump more often. You have a family of 1, you can probably go, 8 years if you're not there a lot,
Right.
or if you entertain a lot. So your septic contractor, and particularly if you have a maintenance contract, they can help guide you on, like our clients, what we tell them is we kind of know what their habits are, how they entertain, how many people they have in the house, and we can help them monitor how often they need to do it.
Right. So it's basically how much you're using, and the more people in the house, the more load on the system, and therefore it
Yes.
requires maintenance more frequently.
Yes.
Cool. Janice, I'm a realtor, and what are some tips that you may want to give to buyers and sellers, who are going to be involved in homes that have septic systems?
I'd probably give the same advice to both of them. It's about like example for a buyer, understanding what you're buying. Am I buying an airplane or am I buying a Volkswagen? And then, how well has that system been maintained? And example, if you're going to buy a car, you probably want to take it for a test drive, which means you want to have it inspected, and you want to see, has it been properly maintained? And then what is going to be the expense of getting the system into a good working order? And sometimes in a transaction, that can be actually replacing the septic system, depending on the age and how well it has or has not been maintained. Same thing with the seller. What are you going to be giving the buyer? Have you well maintained it? Are they going to be coming back to you asking for repairs or replacement?
So if it does need to be replaced, what cost are we talking about?
On average, 3-bedroom, and it also depends on which county you're in and what governing jurisdiction. Some of them are more expensive than others. In the outlying areas, they tend to be less expensive. But I would say normally on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you're going to spend anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000, depending on the site.
Okay.
And the needs of the site and the type of system that the governing authority will allow you to install.
Wow.
So it's significant. So this is why buyers, if you're looking at a home, this is probably one of the most expensive pieces of equipment on the property.
Yes.
Because you're looking at roofs, you're looking at foundations, you're looking at AC units. Septic systems, because they are on-site treatment plants, they do have a significant price tag on them, but also the beauty of them is they do last 30 to 40 years. So, when you amortize that over the life of a home, the cost is really relatively small compared to most equipment. But when they do need to be replaced, that could be a significant expense for the transaction.
Right, yeah. So, I think it's important for buyers to know what you're getting into. And if you're a seller, make sure that you have kept all your records, your maintenance records, and you have kept up with the maintenance schedules.
Yeah, sellers, you know whether or not you've been maintaining your system or not.
Yes.
You also know how old it is. So just take that into consideration as you're going into your negotiations and what might come back towards you.
Cool.
Okay?
Is there anything, Janice, that you want to you want to tell the public about septic systems that we didn't cover in the last few minutes?
No, I just say don't be intimidated by them. They're just a typical piece of equipment. It's very easy to resource either a company like myself or YouTube or talk
Yes.
to other people in the industry. Very easy to resource and get the information you need, particularly if you haven't had a lot of experience with them. Also, a good realtor can guide you to get you the information you need so that you are a happy homeowner.
That sounds right.
We want happy homeowners.
Yes, and you know, as it relates to septic system, everything else, just like everything else, you want to be a well-informed and educated consumer and a buyer or a seller, so that you can make the right decisions. Thank you so much, Janice. This was really helpful. Just giving basics of septic systems, and maybe one day. My hope is to meet you in the field and talk about what these septic systems look like, and just being in the field is always really fun and exciting and helpful. So
That'll be fun.
yes, that'll be awesome. So if you have any questions related to septic systems, feel free to reach out to Janice, or you can even call me and I'll make sure that I get all your questions answered. Hope this was helpful. If you like this episode, please share it, write a comment, like it, and until next time, I'm Sharmila. Have a great week.